Right now at 5, we have an update from a fatal hit-and-run crash from November in Knoll, Missouri.
Plus, we're tracking active showers and storms across the metro. I'll have what that means for your morning commute coming up.
Plus, we have some tips on how you can prevent chimney fires this holiday season.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Elise Snowe.
And I'm Chloe Arroyo. It is so good to be back and getting to work with you.
We are so happy to have you this morning, yes. Chloe. She's going to be with us for the rest of the week. So it's going to be so exciting.
I'm so excited. It's girl gang this morning.
It certainly
We're
is.
here, you're here, I'm here, and you know what? Who else is working? Mother Nature's working
this
morning.
So.
I'll tell you what. Let's take a look at radar right now. Live look. We've got nothing but showers and storms across the 4 states right now. We'll actually go ahead and go to our live radar. There you go. You can see it right there, mainly in southwestern Missouri. We've got Joplin and Monette. You guys have showers and storms across the area. This is going to last for the next couple of hours, so your morning commute, keep that in mind. So we'll continue to track that. Here's a look outside. Just in Joplin and Pittsburgh, we have a cold front pushing through, so we're going to dip our temperatures down into the 50s eventually. So we're starting to cool down. Actually, fun fact, our temperatures, our lows this past night were warmer than our high is expected to be today. So that cold front's going to continue to push through. Our temperatures lower 50s as the kiddos head off to school this morning. We still have that chance for showers until we head into the afternoon. We'll begin to clear out pretty nicely in the mid to upper 50s across the board. That northwesterly wind will hang around with us. So coming up in a bit, this is what we're tracking, those marginal storms throughout this morning. We're going to continue to track that as well. We also have another rainmaker coming late Tuesday night. This could be Tuesday night into early Wednesday morning. We'll be keeping an eye on that. Then we'll enter into another pattern that will bring us cooler temperatures later on this week. Our highs will be in the 30s on Friday. Here's that sneak peek for you. Sunny skies throughout the end of this week. But then we also have another chance for showers at the beginning of next week. We're talking Christmas Eve in your forecast. So lots of things to talk about up in the air next week and the beginning of this week as well. So 2 events for showers tomorrow night and next Tuesday as well. We'll keep that timeline ahead. So we'll have all of those details coming up in just a bit. Elise.
All right, Chloe, thanks. McDonald County prosecutors dropped charges in a fatal hit-and-run case. The McDonald County prosecutor Malia Cheney says, quote, the officer made a false statement in the probable cause affidavit, which would likely affect the case outcome, end quote. Now, sources say the officer stated a serial number was found on a lens linking it to a 1992 Ford F-250. However, the lens contained a model number, not a serial number. Now, that model number lens would fit numerous other years of Ford vehicles, not limited to the 1992 F-150. Now, the incident happened back on November 2nd in Knoll, Missouri. Gloria Trejo allegedly hit a pedestrian at South Kings Highway and Hall Ridge Road in McDonald County. Now, the victim, 59-year-old Michael Pruden, died at the scene. According to court documents, Trejo told authorities she first thought she had hit a deer, then saw it was a person, got scared, and left. Charges in the case can be refiled. Families, students, and staff are grieving after learning of the loss of one of their own. A student from Knoll Elementary School has succumbed to their injuries from an ATV accident last week. Now, counselors will be on school grounds starting today to provide support for those who may need it. In a social media post, the school district said, our hearts are with the students' families and loved ones during the incredibly difficult time. 2 weeks ago, Braxton Thrasher, a 17-year-old, was severely injured in a hit-and-run accident in Carthage, Missouri. In that time, several organizations, including the Dominoes that Braxton worked for, have made efforts to raise money for Braxton's recovery. Now, late Thursday night, the Carthage Dominoes released a statement they received directly from Braxton. It states in part, quote, "I want to say I appreciate everything you guys are doing for me and my family with this fundraiser and for everyone that it's supporting. It's amazing to see so many kind and caring people helping another person out in need. I am positive every day, keeping my head up and working hard to heal. Thank you guys again for everything," end quote. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Missouri Southern State University graduated 244 students Saturday at the Leggett and Platt Athletic Center. The ceremony will allow students to receive their master's, bachelor's, or associate's degrees. The university also graduated 11 international students from 8 different countries.
It's amazing to see students grow here at Missouri Southern State University. It is a very warm feeling seeing these students start as freshmen and helping them every step of the way towards graduation. And when they walk across the stage, it's just a big celebration. It's a very happy moment that we have.
This is Missouri Southern's 83rd commencement ceremony. According to the National Fire Protection Agency, nearly half of all home heating fires occur in December, January, and February. KOAM's Mitch Adams spoke with a Carthage-based sweep to find out more about preventing chimney fires.
We also strongly believe in the education in this industry. And we clean a lot of chimneys this time of year.
As the temperatures begin to get colder and colder, many people rely on a fireplace for warmth in their home. A fireplace can be an efficient and less expensive way to heat your home, but it can come with different hazards. Janie Frazier is the president of Alpine Chimney Sweep. It's her family business with around 40 years of history.
I am a master sweep. That means that I've been educated in the chimney and hearth industry.
Frazier sat down with us to give us some tips on how to make sure your chimney and fireplace are safe to use, without the risk of damage or, even worse, a chimney fire.
One thing that you cannot do, I mean, you can't see 20 feet up a chimney and say, yeah, it looks great and everything's fine. That's not possible. So we use a video camera that's specifically for our industry, and we video the inside of the flue.
When it comes to the full-on prevention of a chimney fire, Frazier gave us her best advice in making sure that your chimney and fireplace are safe to use this winter.
The easiest way I have found is to have it cleaned, or at least inspected. And we can send a camera up there, we can just visually inspect it, but at that point you'll know what's real. Is it safe to use or is it not?
Frazier also took the time to share with us the different tools that are used in the trade and the different functions that they have for different jobs.
This is the newest and greatest. This goes up the chimney, and we use a drill to whip out all the creosote. We're looking for any defects that may cause loss of life or property.
Educating people about some of the dangers is a reason for Frazier to keep doing the work she does.
I love going to meet people in their homes. I like educating them about how to use their fireplace and if they can use it, and if they can't, why not, and what we can do to make it better.
In Carthage, Missouri, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
Now, Frazier says that getting your chimney cleaned also helps greatly with venting and improves airflow to the fire, making it more heat efficient. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes, coming up on the KOAM Morning News. The World Series baseball sells for over $1 million. We'll have those details. Plus, thousands of people dressed up as Santa for an annual charity race in Paris. And we're tracking rain chances for today. We'll have what to expect with Gloria Arroyo in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. The Kansas City Chiefs have one more team remaining on their schedule with a record below 500. and that would be the Cleveland Browns. And the Chiefs entered Sunday with a 12-1 record, looking to add to their resume. Now, Chiefs playing in Cleveland for the first time since 2018. In the first quarter, Patrick Mahomes rolls out and completes a short pass to Juju Smith-Schuster. He dives for the end zone, and that's a Kansas City touchdown. Chiefs lead 7-0. We head to the second quarter. Same score. Patrick Mahomes drops back. He takes his time surveying the field, then finds Noah Gray for the touchdown. Kansas City takes a 14-0 lead. We go to the third quarter. Same score. The Chiefs are on the move again. Mahomes gets a quick pass over to Xavier Worthy, and he does the rest. He stays in bounds for another Kansas City touchdown. The Chiefs now lead 21-0. In the fourth quarter, Chiefs lead 21-7. This pass would be incomplete, but all the attention is on the quarterback as Patrick Mahomes takes a brutal hit. Mahomes left the game with an ankle injury and did not return. Good news is the X-rays are negative on Mahomes, and Chiefs go on to win the game 21-7.
Yeah, I was trying to run up in the pocket, obviously fourth down, trying to make a play happen. And as I threw the ball, I kind of got hit, and I haven't seen it, but it felt like someone hit me from behind as well. And so I kind of just got rolled up on. It kind of happens in football. And so tried to bounce back up, but obviously it hurt a little bit. But now we'll just get after the rehab part of it and try to be ready for next week. I feel like I could have finished the game in different circumstances, but I thought the smart decision, I think we talked about, was to put Carson in, and he's played a lot of football, and he finished the game well.
You know, we battled through something. They did a good job in the first half. I've got to take care of business on my end for the third quarter of just giving our guys things that they can work with. And, you know, I wasn't able to do that. And so I've got to take care of that part.
Now, big game in Detroit as the Lions host the Buffalo Bills. Now, we start in the first quarter as the Bills lead 7-0. Josh Allen makes it a 14-0 after he runs in the end zone for a touchdown. In the second quarter, Bills lead 21-7. Jared Goff passes to one of his offensive linemen, and that's Dan Skipper, who scores his first career touchdown, but the Bills still lead 21-14. And we go into the third quarter, same score. Josh Allen hands off to James Cook, and he slices up the middle. He escapes from the Lions defense and scores a touchdown to extend the lead for Buffalo. Bills lead 28-14. Then in the fourth quarter, Josh Allen stays hot as he connects with Ray Davis for the touchdown. Buffalo goes on to win a high-scoring game. Bills beat the Lions 48-42. Well, a huge weekend around the NFL, and here are some key scores from around the AFC West. The Denver Broncos had a big fourth quarter surge as they came back to beat the Colts 31-13. Then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers blow out the LA Chargers on the West Coast. Bucs win the game 40-17. Well, baseball season ended over a month ago, but one baseball in particular from the 2024 World Series has been auctioned off for over $1 million. Freddie Freeman's World Series walk-off Grand Slam baseball sells for $1.56 million at SCP Auctions. Now, the historic hit by the World Series MVP becomes the third most valuable milestone baseball ever. That surpasses Aaron Judge's 62nd home run ball hit in 2022. Well, still to come, thousands of bottles of an antidepressant is being recalled due to a post-cancer risk. Plus, a check of the 7-day forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns.
Well, good morning, you guys. It is a Monday morning. It's 5:18 going on right now. We've got some active showers and storms. I'm going to move on this side of the screen so you guys can see. These storms were relatively disorganized this morning. We had a marginal risk for a severe threat, but that has since passed and turned into more of widespread rain across the board, especially around Springfield, Monette, Branson, really southwest Missouri. You guys are seeing the majority of that rainfall into the next couple of hours. Northwest Arkansas is going to start to see the bulk of that in the next couple of hours into the mid-morning hours. So here's a look outside right now. Joplin and Pittsburgh are relatively dry. That rain has since passed, but those temperatures are slowly starting to decline. Fun fact, our low last night was actually a couple degrees warmer than our high is expected to be today. That's because a cold front is actively pushing through the 4 states right now, and that's going to cool us down in the mid-morning hours. And then we're only going to warm up into the mid-50s this afternoon. So for those kiddos going to the bus stop this morning, off to school, our temperatures are going to be in the lower 50s. We'll still have those showers with us, especially in southwest Missouri, northwest Arkansas, but across the entire area, we're going to cool off, or excuse me, we're going to clear out into this afternoon. Sunshine will be left with us, a northwest wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. That's going to keep us a little on the cooler side. Our highs only in the 50s compared to the 60-degree temperatures we saw yesterday. That's because that southerly wind warmed us up yesterday, but now that that front has passed through, we have a change in direction in the winds completely. So tracking out these showers for you. This is today at 9:30. We'll see the majority of these showers pushing through or pushing out of the area. And then afterwards, we're going to clear out completely. Those clouds will begin to evaporate and clear out until this afternoon. We'll have that northerly wind. Temperatures again in the 50s this afternoon, so a very clear and calm day, but that severe risk still with a couple of counties, especially in southwestern Missouri, northeastern Oklahoma, and northwestern Arkansas. Now this morning we saw a stronger risk for that severe weather, but we still could see winds upwards of 50 miles per hour, and we're still on that hail watch, so we're still tracking that. Of course, nothing right now is looking severe. Like I said, it is looking a little more disorganized. So we do have a couple of counties that are under a dense fog advisory in southeastern Kansas, and that's going to be in effect until 6 a.m. this morning. So if you have that morning commute in the next 40 minutes or so to an upwards of an hour, you could see a couple of areas of patchy fog. So allocate some extra time on that drive this morning. So planning out your afternoon will be temperatures in the 50s, 56 for your high in Joplin with that northwesterly wind. 5 to 10 miles per hour, so nothing too crazy for your winds today, but it'll still bring cooler temperatures for us. Now, for overall, we'll see another chance for showers on Tuesday night. Then we'll enter into a calmer picture overall later on this week. Cooler temperatures ahead, and then another chance for rain possible next week on Tuesday, which is Christmas Eve. So the models are just now picking up on this, but here's a look at your 10-day forecast. Like I said, we'll be cold on Friday, and then another chance for rain. I'm only putting 20% on Tuesday. Stick around. We've got more news and weather coming up.
Well, topping Health Watch this morning, more than 230,000 bottles of an antidepressant are being recalled. Now, the medication contains levels of a chemical that poses a cancer risk. The medication, duloxetine, was sold by Rising Pharmaceuticals of New Jersey. The company voluntarily recalled the capsules last month, but now the FDA has classified it under its second most severe risk level. Now, that means it could cause temporary or medically reversible adverse health consequences. A similar recall of more than 7,000 bottles of duloxetine distributed by TOA Pharmaceutical Europe was issued in October. Well, nearly 7 million Americans 65 and over are estimated to be living with Alzheimer's disease, according to the National Institutes of Health. Now, a recent study suggests a new sign for relatives to watch out for. Now, that may warn of future disease. Amanda Gaither looks at the research and has what every family with aging seniors should know.
It's not a new discovery. For some time, it's been noted that older adults with cognitive impairment may suddenly make poor financial decisions or become victims of a scam. But new research now says that could be an early warning sign of Alzheimer's disease.
Our study shows that thinning of a brain region known to deteriorate first in Alzheimer's disease, called the entorhinal cortex, is also associated with financial vulnerability in older adults without any cognitive impairment.
Dr. Duke Hahn, one of the study's researchers, says that area of the brain helps us imagine future outcomes and assess value. Therefore, he says a thinning of that region may explain why certain older adults may test cognitively normally while making poor financial choices. And the research suggests seeing those changes in an older adult could be a risk factor for Alzheimer's disease.
If an older adult starts showing some poor financial decisions, it might actually be a reason to pursue further testing for Alzheimer's disease.
Researchers caution that not everyone with Alzheimer's is going to make poor financial decisions, and not everyone who makes bad choices with money is going to develop the disease. But they say the study may alert relatives to cognitive problems earlier, so treatment and support can be put in place sooner. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Well, health experts say an early diagnosis for Alzheimer's and other types of dementia is not only beneficial to the patient, but also those caring for them. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
Plus, we're still tracking those showers and storms across the 4 states. Coming up, we're going to talk more about that long-range forecast in addition to what to expect this week. Lots of changes in the weather pattern. I'll have all the details coming up.
Right now at 5:30, Santa Claus makes a stop to visit some furry friends ahead of Christmas.
Plus, we're still tracking isolated showers across the metro. I'll have all of those details.
And the Parsons Police Department hits the storefront to help provide toys for kids this Christmas.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:30. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chloe Arroyo. I probably should have used an apple box or a box to stand a little taller.
I know. I'm just the giant over here at KOAM.
I love it, though. I love it. Yes, I'm so excited to be working
and
with
we are
Chloe's.
happy to have you, Chloe.
It is so fun to be here. You know, getting up early this morning, I wasn't really used to it.
It's an adjustment for sure.
Yes, but I'm hoping I'll get adjusted to it because I'll be here all week for the morning show. So I'm so excited.
It's an exciting time, and it's exciting. With you here and then 9 days till Christmas, lots to look forward to.
Absolutely. It doesn't feel like Christmas outside.
It doesn't really.
Yeah.
Not at all.
No, it might later on this week, but you know, for the most part, we're pretty above average for our temperatures.
We certainly are. It's
We're
unbelievable.
We're usually talking about snow this time of year. We're actually talking about showers. So, in fact, there's some active showers across the 4 states going on right now. So, that severe thunderstorm warning you see on there, that expired a couple of hours ago. We are having a couple technical difficulties with our Max machine, but we have a couple of scattered showers across the metro going on right now that we're continuing to track. Later on this afternoon, though, we're going to see a clearing pattern. So those showers will eventually clear out in the mid-morning hours. So by 9:30 to 10 a.m., those showers are going to be out of the picture pretty much completely across the 4 states. And then this afternoon, we'll be left with sunny skies. Our temperatures are only going to get up into the mid-50s. So our lows last night were in the 60s, so actually warmer than our high this afternoon. But yes, our temperatures mid-50s, sunny skies this afternoon. So as the kiddos are heading to that bus stop this morning or their walk to class, whatever that may be, expect showers till about 9:30 or 10. And then this afternoon for school pickup, it'll be much calmer conditions. Now coming up in a bit, we're going to talk more about the active showers that we're seeing right now. We're going to continue to track that, and you'll see a more accurate look of the radar here in just a little bit. But we're also tracking a chance for rain Tuesday night, and then another system that could be pushing through next week. We're talking possible rain chances for your Christmas Eve. I'll have all of those details and more coming up.
All right, we'll see you soon, Chloe. Thanks. Well, Santa's sleigh made a stop in Fort Scott yesterday afternoon to support a local nonprofit organization. KOAM's Mitch Adams has the details.
So many of our animals are like family. They're our children, they're our brothers and sisters, they're our kids. And we want to be able to include them too, so they can be part of it, just like this little sweetheart here. And that's to us very, very important.
The Southeast Kansas Animal Advocates brought Santa to Fort Scott to take photos with pets and their families. The photo shoot doubled as a fundraiser to support the treatment and placement of stray dogs and cats in new homes.
This past year, we've so far helped 575 dogs and 135 cats. So there's a lot of need in Southeast Kansas to not only spay, neuter, vaccinate, but also find homes for the excess number of pets.
Santa made his way from the North Pole to make sure these animals feel loved and to give their families a Christmas keepsake. With such a busy schedule, St. Nick has his eyes set on his plans after Christmas ends.
Well, so of course Santa Claus is looking very forward to the day after Christmas, which is typically a Bahamas type activity.
But those plans won't stop him from sharing Christmas joy with our four-legged friends.
You know, what I would like to see this Christmas is every single one of these little sweethearts not to be in a pound over Christmas.
In Fort Scott, Kansas, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
SEK Animal Advocates recently opened a low-cost spay and neuter clinic with services available in Arma, Kansas. The annual Parsons tradition is happening as the Parsons Police and Fire Departments team up for their 10th year of Shop with a Cop. Now, the Shop with a Cop grants area kids a chance to buy Christmas presents for themselves, but also their friends and families. The Parsons PD hosts fundraisers for it throughout the year and have raised $14,000 for the area kids' Christmas presents.
You know, honestly, it's kind of eye-opening, with these kids. They don't always, dive right in for, electronics and games. It's amazing to see the responsibility that some of these young kids actually have. They're looking for coats. They're looking for, clothing. They, end up going and trying to get, presents for their, siblings. And that is actually, heartwarming, to see.
The Parsons PD has a legacy fund which supports this event and also supports area scholarships. The Joplin Mineral and History Museum held its third gingerbread house competition. Over 45 gingerbread houses will be displayed until next week. The competition is broken up by size of the gingerbread houses and age groups. Now, this year's event also included a craft market for area vendors.
We are part of the community and we want people to come out and enjoy the history of Joplin, get to know it a little more, to come in and get involved and try something different, try some of these great original type houses, and come see, get some ideas this year for and what you can do next year.
The prizes for the top 3 in each category include a cash prize and a gift basket. Well, the Cat Fanciers Association held a cat show and contest at the Newton County A&M Fairgrounds. Over 150 purebred and household cats competed at the show. The purebred category includes the 46 recognized cat breeds by the CFA. Now, the top winners received ribbons, and each purebred cat had to live up to the breed standard in order to win.
Each and every one of these animals has something special and beautiful and unique within them, and I get to bring that out and show it to people. I get to educate people and teach the cats and share my love of this hobby.
The first 100 children to attend the cat show got a free cat coloring book. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. 5 people are dead and dozens are still missing after a small boat capsizes off the coast of Crete. Plus, South Korea's parliament voted to impeach President Yoon Suk-yeol. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Topping World Watch, Christmas Eve isn't the only day when Santa really gets a workout. On Sunday, thousands of Santas pounded the pavement during a 10-kilometer run outside Paris. Now, the course was a little over 6 miles. Organizers handed out classic red and white hats and overcoats before the runners set out. Now, some of them said bystanders were getting in the Christmas spirit, telling the Santas what they want for Christmas. The event is held to raise money for charity. Well, a small boat capsizes off the coast of Crete Saturday with tragic results. Greek officials say 5 people are dead and dozens are still missing after a small dinghy packed with migrants capsized at sea near the coast of the island of Crete. Authorities say 39 people have been rescued. Now, this video shows one migrant being rescued and pulled to safety by a Hellenic Navy helicopter rescue crew. Greece's Navy says it participated in a large-scale search and rescue operation of foreigners in an area 12.5 nautical miles southwest of the island of Gavdos. Now, there's no word yet on why the small craft may have capsized. Well, South Korea's parliament on Saturday voting to impeach President Yoon Suk-yeol over his stunning and abrupt decree of martial law nearly a week ago. Now, the move makes the country's number 2 official, its interim president, until an election can be held. But the drama may not be over, and Stephanie Bennett has the latest.
The National Assembly passed the motion 204 to 85. For now, all the presidential powers will be handed over to the Prime Minister. Outside Parliament, crowds celebrated after hearing the news. The impeachment motion alleged President Yoon committed rebellion that hurts peace in the Republic of Korea by staging a series of riots, saying Yoon's mobilization of military and police forces threatened the National Assembly and the public, and that his martial law decree was aimed at disturbing the Constitution. But it's not over just yet. The Constitutional Court has up to 180 days to determine whether to dismiss Yoon as president or restore his powers. If he's thrown out of office, a national election must be held within 60 days to choose his successor. Supporters of the president gathered to protest the impeachment, while Mr. Yoon said he will not give up and described this as a temporary pause in his presidency.
I will never give up, holding in my heart all the criticism, encouragement, and support directed at me. I will do my best for the country until the very last moment.
President Yoon declared martial law on December 3rd, giving the military unlimited power to make and enforce laws. Soldiers clashed with demonstrators as it halted diplomatic activities, but around 6 hours later, Parliament unanimously voted to overturn it, forcing Yoon to lift his decree. Secretary of State Antony Blinken says Yoon's impeachment shows South Korea's democratic resilience.
We've seen it follow peacefully a process laid out in its constitution. And we're ready to work with President Han as he assumes office.
President Yoon is also under a criminal investigation for alleged insurrection over the martial law declaration. He's also banned from leaving the country.
And that's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. We'll be right back.
Well, good Monday morning. Hope you guys are enjoying your Monday morning so far. We've had quite a few showers and storms across the 4 states that's since pushed off southeast, and now southwestern Missouri and northwestern Arkansas really seeing the majority of that storm. But behind it is a cold front pushing through. You can see these lines of clouds just behind this line of storms. That's the cold front that's beginning to push through, which resulted in our temperatures overnight being warmer than our actual temperature for our high today. So quite the interesting fact right there. We're going to have that cold front continue to push off southeast as well. So here's a look at, so we've got Pittsburgh and Joplin going on right here. They don't have much rainfall anymore, so we're going to continue to track that. I'm going to step off the screen super quick right here to show you these showers and storms. We've got more across the board, but for the most part, Joplin and Pittsburgh are relatively dry. Here's a look at your bus stop forecast. We've got temperatures going down into the lower 50s, a couple showers and storms here and there, especially for counties a little southern across the 4 states. That's going to clear out this afternoon, leaving us with sunny skies and temperatures in the mid-50s. We're also going to have that northwesterly wind sticking with us today this afternoon, so keeping that in mind, though it won't be too extensive. So planning out your afternoon, temperatures are going to be in the mid-50s, 56 for your high for Joplin. Our sunrise is a little bit before 7:30, so less than 2 hours away from now, but once those clouds begin to push out, that's going to leave us with sunny skies throughout the rest of the day. So seeing this in action, our storms are going to push off by 9:30, 10 o'clock. That'll be pretty much out of the metro completely, and those clouds will end up leaving us this afternoon with clear skies, temperatures in the mid to upper 50s for your highs today. Again, a lot about 10 degrees colder than our highs yesterday. We had that southerly wind with us, and now we have that northerly to northwesterly wind. So keeping in mind, we still have that marginal risk for severe weather this morning. Once those storms pass through and push off southeast in the next couple of hours, you won't have to worry about this risk anymore, but especially for that morning commute, keep that in mind. So overall, next couple of days, on Tuesday night is our next rainmaker. This is going to be Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, a result of the front end of a trough. That's going to push off eastward, and then we'll switch into another weather pattern. That's going to keep us more calm. We're entering more of a high pressure system off to our west. That's going to keep us calm and cold. This is a look at Friday night. We'll be in the 30s, especially for your high on Friday afternoon. We won't reach much more than that. And then over the weekend, we'll be in the 40s before we see another chance for rain, possibly, that we're tracking next Tuesday. That's Christmas Eve. So keeping that on your calendar and fresh on your brain as you are making plans for Christmas Eve and eventually Christmas Day. So here's a look at that 10-day forecast overall. Later on this week, we'll be calming down, clearing out completely, except those temperatures will be relatively cold. 35 for your high on Friday, and then 20% chance for showers next Tuesday. Stick around with us. We have more news and weather coming up after the break.
Well, a California woman is one of the youngest ever Asian Americans elected into office in the United States, and she's only 19 years old. Nicole Comstock introduces us to Kaylee Maylaw, who was just sworn in as city council member in Walnut, California.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance.
It's a moment Kaylee Maylaw will remember for the rest of her life. That time she was sworn in as a Walnut City Council member at just 19 years old.
This community raised me, and it's been so great, and I really appreciate this opportunity to give back.
To say this young woman is accomplished is an understatement.
I graduated at 16 with 3 associates from Mount San Antonio College, and then after that I went on to get my bachelor's from Grand Canyon, and then I just graduated this August with my master's from Johns Hopkins.
Now imagine being in her family seats.
Happy, anxious, nervous, a little bit of everything.
Mom and dad tell us they knew their daughter was meant to take on more when she became bored with her schoolwork in junior high.
I said, why don't you just try a community college class in the summer and see what you think of it. Pick something fun. And I'm thinking like ceramics. She picked logic.
That's what you call a sign.
How old were you when you got into politics?
I was 44. When I first got in, I didn't know what I was doing.
So logically, when the 19-year-old asked longtime city council member Eric Ching for help running for the seat he was giving up to campaign for Congress, he was happy to be her mentor.
I look at her background, and then when she puts her heart to it, she never quits. So that's something I like.
Kaylee says her parents instilled the value of education in her at a young age, and that wisdom is generational. She's inspired by her late grandfather, a Chinese immigrant.
When my grandfather came to the United States, he had a 6th grade education, continuing my grandparents' legacy and all the sacrifices that my grandparents and my parents made. That was really important to me.
And it's important to her parents that she's happy being one of the very youngest Asian American elected officials in the country.
I'm really excited for working along with my colleagues.
Kaylee Maylaw is considering going to law school next or doing something in the legal field. Stick around. We'll be right back. Well, for a country that often seems to have been spun back in time because of politics, Cuba knows how to spin it forward with vinyl sounds. Analog music, as in vinyl records, was in full spin cycle in Havana this past weekend. Cuban and foreign DJs let the rhythms and sounds move together in an old Havana warehouse at the Havana RPM Festival. The interest for vinyl records and Cuban music has not faced extinction in Cuba, a country notable for decades in its production and distribution and for its classic Cuban sound heritage. Now, kids with health struggles often need the magic of Christmas, and one airline uses one of its backup sleighs to help make a Santa house call. United Airlines helped 100 children with health challenges. Kids hop aboard a fantasy flight to see the jolly old elf at the North Pole Saturday. The flight actually whirled around Denver for about 45 minutes and then landed at the North Pole, which was actually back to Denver International, and were towed to Santa's hangar to hang out. United participants say it's one of their most fun times of the year.
Plus, we're still tracking showers and storms across the 4 states. It's mostly pushed out closer to southwestern Missouri, entering into northwestern Arkansas. It's also starting to dissipate as we head into the next couple of hours or two. So for that bus stop forecast, we're going to be in the lower 50s and then clearing out this afternoon into the mid 50s. So not warming up much more from there. Our highs across the 4 states will be in the mid 50s, but 56 for your high specifically in Joplin. And we could see a couple of increasing clouds after dinner time, but for the most part this afternoon, we're going to clear out beautifully with that northerly wind. Temperatures in the mid to upper 50s. Now for your 7-day forecast, we're looking at calm conditions Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Cold temperatures, 35 degrees for your high on Sunday. Of course, we'll have more on the KOAM Morning News at 6.